Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's May the 12th, 2022, and today I'm doing a Canada Post video. That's why I have my van behind me. That's why the light and the signage is on top of the van. There's a mailbox behind me, and I'll get to all of that, why I'm doing that in the garage today. If you followed along in the past, you may have seen some of my other Canada Post videos, like what it's like to be an RSMC, a rural suburban mail carrier. Also the trip from Ochre on-call relief to full-time. I've done those videos. Today I'm doing one on the reaching device. It's a device only used by the rural suburban mail carriers. And so I'm a trainer on that, and I want to show you all about it. I'm going to show you the implementation. I'm going to show you how it's used, what you might expect if a trainer shows up. Remember, we're not corporate. We're our RSMCs, just like you guys, who get this device, and I'll show you how to use it. So for those of you who are new to the channel, thanks for joining. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you tell all your friends, watch it at your next birthday party, whatever you want to do. But today's video is on the reaching device, the RRD. For the purpose of this video today, I won't be wearing my mask, I won't be wearing my gloves, but if you are in the field and you are an RSMC and you're driving along, you probably have gloves on. And if it's still during the pandemic, you probably still are having a mask. If it's not over your nose and mouth while you're driving, I can understand that. You might have it pulled down, but we are required to have it whenever we're in contact with customers. So if you see us with the masks on, that's why we still have them. And we're trying to keep you safe just as well as keeping ourselves safe. So today, I'm gonna show you. There, I've got a safety vest. I've got a rain jacket that is highly visible. I've got the shirt that's highly visible. If you're out and about, you have to have one of these on as a rural suburban mail carrier to make sure that you're safe out there. So if you're still in the old red shirts, you probably have a safety vest if you have to get out of the car. And if it's raining or winter time or whatever, you probably have a jacket that has the high visibility on it. Today I am in the short sleeves. It's 26 degrees in Moncton today. So I was lucky enough to be in shorts and short sleeve high visibility shirt. Now let me show you what I got in here. So there is the reaching device and the holder that it goes in, and I'm going to show you more about that here. Okay, so how did we end up here with this arm and this holder, this reaching device unit in our vehicles? Well, we would have had to contact our supervisor, and they put in a request with Ottawa saying that our route has between 12 and 249 roadside mailboxes. And then from there, Ottawa would send this device to your post office, put a request in with a trainer like myself who's in your area to come over and train you on how to use it properly, ergonomically, have it installed in your vehicle, make sure that the arm is to the right length for your body to get the proper reach without having any strains on it. And from there, you'll actually get a little bump of pay because you get more when you use this, because it's a little bit more time consuming, especially in the early goings when you're learning how to use it. But you are expected to have the arm, the holder, and be using it every day and then store it safely at the end of your day. If you have more than 249, you're in a corporate right-hand vehicle. If you're in less than 12, you're just doing it in your own vehicle and just reaching out the way we have been. Now, why do we have this? For the longest time, RSMCs have been driving not safely. That's the easiest way to say it. They sit in the middle of their vehicle, maybe without the seatbelt on, they're sliding across the bench or the console, maybe they have something over the console in order to reach over. Whatever it takes in order to get to that mailbox out the passenger side window. Some even drive on the wrong side of the road, so the mailbox is over here on the driver's side when they come up to it. All of those things we shouldn't be doing. They are affecting our necks, our backs, putting other people in danger if we're driving on the other side of the road. So what we have is an RSMC in Quebec came up with an arm that they'd put together, that they'd gone to Canadian Tire or the dollar store and fashioned it away with a little hook and things on it. And corporate saw it and decided that's probably a good thing to have. So they've engineered it over and over again. This is actually version 3 you'll be looking at today. And there is a version 4 in the works, but I'll go through the different pieces that are on it so you can see what it's all about. I'll show you how it's installed in the vehicle and how easy it is at the end of the day just to take it out and put it away. We'll even go through some practice runs and showing you how to properly sit in your vehicle, how to reach with it, the one-arm method, the two-arm method, Yeah, all the different things that you're going to need to know. When your trainer shows up, remember that they are an RSMC like you, and yeah, they've probably been through some of the struggles that you have. Maybe you're returning from a disability, you've been off work for it. Those are people that are first getting these. Maybe you've transferred onto a new route and now you need it. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you might be on it. If you apply for it and there's no stock available right now, you still can have an ergonomic assistant until one gets sent to you and you've been properly trained how to use it. All right, let's look at what the trainer's going to do when he first gets there. Before I or another trainer shows up, first thing you need to do is watch the video online. So corporate will send you a link saying, go ahead, you can watch this video in your on your interpost, and it'll be in your lessons of things in the learning center for you to do. So go ahead, watch that. It will get checked off, and then corporate will know that you've done that assignment, send the equipment to your post office, and someone like me will show up, and we'll put something like that in your vehicle. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at the letter flat container. There's only one way for this to go in, and that's with this white side facing forward. There are stoppers here that prevent it from sliding out. This is called the fulcrum. That's going to be on by your windowsill. It's going to protect your window from any damage from the arm coming down and hitting it. It should be properly adjusted between 1 and 2 inches above your windowsill. If we look in here, this holds the reaching device. I'll show you how to position that. There is a male staging area. There is an armrest. Now, you're not driving down the road using that as your comfort zone. That is simply for when you're using the reaching device, you put your elbow on that, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So all your letters for your roadside mail will be in here, and then you can stage it as I have with the test mail right there. Now, the previous versions use the seatbelt to hold it in place. These are nice and sturdy now. There is a Cobra clip here that holds it in place and a wire here. So in order to release it, just pull it to the side. That loosens the tension. And then you go down here. I can do this one-handed, we'll see. There. Release the Cobra clip like that. That goes up and over the back of your chair. And once you're there, then it can be removed safely from your vehicle. That shows you how easy it is to remove it. I'm going to show you the steps though that it's going to take for the trainer originally to install it in your vehicle, what he's going to ask you to do. First thing he's going to ask you, what kind of vehicle do you drive? What's the year, the make, the model? That all has a determining factor in what length reaching device you're going to need. When the trainer first gets there, first thing that they're really going to need to know after they've introduced themselves, you get through the pleasantries about maybe their route and what they've done in their experiences. They're going to want to know what kind of vehicle you drive. In this case, I drive a 2012, Dodge Grand Caravan, and you may drive something different, bigger routes, bigger vehicles. You can see in the back, all my seats are flat so I can put all my letter mail, my parcels are all back there. Then they're going to want to know how tall you are. So they're not going to measure you. They're just going to ask you what your height is, because that's going to be a determining factor in what size reaching device arm you're going to be able to use. They're going to ask to get in your vehicle, and they're going to measure between the inside of the armrest there to the inside of the armrest on this side and minus it by 4, and that should give you the proper length. So if it was a 55-inch distance between, take off 4, 51-inch reaching device is what you'll need. I'm going to be showing you, for example, this one here. It says 53 at the top, and I'll show you all the parts and what this does, and we'll go from there. So if they've got the measurements inside of your vehicle, they know your height, they know the model of your vehicle. The next thing they're going to want to do is measure the height from the ground level to the windowsill to make sure it's within proper specs. If you happen to have a big truck, then it's going to be more difficult using the device to get to the mailboxes. When we get to the mailboxes, the mailboxes have to be between 42 and 45 inches from the ground. If they're not, then you're going to have to write up a report, give them to your supervisor, and they will contact the customer to have the boxes fixed. A lot of the cases are like that. We're working with ideal situations today, other than the fact that this mailbox does not have a flag on it. It has come off over time, but many of the mailboxes that you're going to come across are not going to have flags on them anymore, or they're going to be bent, or they're going to be too low, they're going to be too high, they're going to be on a swivel chain, they're not going to be a proper mailbox, they're going to be, I don't know, a skidoo helmet or something like that. There's all sorts of things that happen in the field that need to be fixed in order for this to work properly. All right, so this is your reaching device. Snaps there. It's got a flat edge on this side to hold the mail in. It has a hook in order to latch onto the mailbox or lift up the flag or to pull the mail forward with. At this end, you have a tension adjuster, so if it's too hard to hold it down this way, you can loosen the tension. If you do that though, the tension at this end will also loosen, so if you have lots of mail in there, it's going to make it easier for it to slide out, so you have to be careful of that. This also has a trigger at this end, so when you're reaching out with the one-arm device, you can squeeze it like that in order to open the latch. And squeezing that trigger opens this to release the mail or slide in and pick up the mail. That is really all you need to know about the arm itself. The size is indicated here, 53. The top trigger, the lower trigger, the adjuster, the jaw, and the hook. And that's what you have with that. All right, here's the holder. So you've got an armrest that's going to be at a position of 10 degrees comfortably for the RSMC to put their elbow on when using the reaching device. You have the holder for the arm, so when your vehicle is in motion, it should be in there so it doesn't become a projectile if you were to get into an accident. You have the fulcrum, which is the rest that sits by the windowsill. You have the staging area for your mail for the next customer. You have a place there if you wanted for a magazine or for flyers that can go in. And this is the tub for all your mail. Now this piece here goes over the back of your chair and is fitted to the proper distance of the back of your chair and tightened. So there are 2 screws that are under here that have to be adjusted so this doesn't slide back and forth. You have your Cobra clip that I showed you in the release, and I'll show you when we put it back in again. And once that's all fit and tight, it's good to go. So let's fit this back into the vehicle again. You are going to lift it by this and by this, never by the fulcrum. Otherwise it will break. You put it in there. You're going to take the strap that's already been positioned by your trainer, put it back across. Down here, you may want to slide your chair forward in order to get to it, but it should be a nice tight fit into the snake clamp, tuck the extra away, and then just pull this nice and tight. And you can tuck the extra of that away as well. Now it's tight, it's not going anywhere. Close that. This is within the 1 to 2 inch distance. Now let's get in and train on it. All right, the trainer has installed it in your vehicle. It's nice and comfy. The armrest is at a 10-degree angle, so you can have it at the proper position. Your fulcrum is nice and easy. You can easily drop the arm into the triangle of your hand, and from that, it can go to your rear. So here it's on the fulcrum. You can't see, I will show you another angle, but that opens the door. You can position the mail in. You can see there. Make sure the mail does not go this way, because as you go out, you could drop it. If you drop it, you have to pull your vehicle ahead into a safe place. Make sure you have your high visibility shirt, jacket, or vest on, and then get out, retrieve the mail, and put it in the box. That is key. But if you do it correctly, hopefully, your shoulders remain even, your neck is not twisting, your head is not bobbling, you are looking straight out at the mailbox. You put it in, you release, you pull it back out, the mail has been put in, and then you can put the door of the mailbox back up. just like that. So there's two hands. One hand, if the mailbox was further, would be like this. You can see that it gets adjusted. You're continuing to use the fulcrum, not your windowsill, to access the mailbox. Always make sure your neck is not straining. You're not reaching with your back shoulder to try to get proper leverage at lower areas. You're not lifting the arm off the fulcrum, but you're remaining a nice straight body. You're not twisting in your abs to get a different spot. Those will all cause injury. And you may say, well, the trainer didn't train me properly. Now you have this video to watch too, to say, okay, what am I doing properly? I'm making sure my head is looking at the mailbox, not bending it forward. I'm not lifting my shoulder up or my elbow out. I'm keeping straight, and if I need to, I go to the one-arm method. Now let me show you from the other angle. It's important when you pull up to the mailbox that you're within safe distance. So you want to be within 14 inches. If you're too close, when you bring the mailbox lid cover down, it might hit your vehicle, it might scratch it. If you're too far away, you're going to be straining and stretching to try to get to it. And it's also very important that they're within specs. So if they're not to the proper height, if they're not the proper type of mailbox, if the door flips up but doesn't stay up, all these things need to be corrected, and it is up to your supervisor to do so. Just make sure you create a report and hand it off to them. Make a copy, make sure that you have your bases covered too, that you have done it and submitted it, and they will contact the customer and get the mailboxes fixed. It will make a world of difference. So when you pull up, you take it out your arm like this. You'll notice that the shoulder, because of the door, won't go too far, so you're going to use the top latch to open it. You put your mail in. You make sure the box is open first. You reach in, one-handed method. You release the jaws. You come back across using the fulcrum as best you can, depending on the height of the mailbox. You use the hook to close the mailbox back up again, and you return it to the safety holder. All making sure that your shoulders are not going up, you're not straining, you're not looking with your head and neck. All the movement should be done with your arms in a straight fashion, and when this arm is not long enough, you can continue on with the one-armed method in order to reach the mailbox. Hopefully that's been helpful. This is a great tool to be used if it's used correctly, and make sure you got a nice trainer who comes and fits it properly for your vehicle, shows you exactly how you have to use it, and at the end of the day, it's easy. Undo the Cobra clip on the side, release the tension in the blue, lift the strap over the back of the chair, and you can remove the device, put it back underneath your workstation, store it wherever your post office has room to store your device till the next day. Hopefully this has been helpful. This is the RRD, or the reaching device, and yeah, enjoy. Till next time, till the next Canada Post thing, treat everyone with kindness and patience. The mail is key to moving things forward. One thing I didn't talk about though is parcels. If a packet does not fit, I'll show you something here. There are little clips that you can put onto a packet that the end of the hook will fit into, and you can slide them into the mailbox. If that doesn't work, you can bring them to the door as a PCI, point of call, or you can card them and they can pick them up at the post office or at the regional post office, whatever they happen to have in your community. So that is what you do with items that do not fit easily into the mailbox, such as an oversized parcel, a packet like, or a magazine, maybe a thick U-line that is hard to fit in there. You might have to bring those to the door or card them. That is where you're at with that. It might mean you have more points of call to do that way, but for the most part, this should protect the wear and tear on your body. We'll find that we'll have less days that we're off sick as a result of injuries on the job as a result of it, but it must be done correctly. If you continue to strain and to push your body in ways that it's not supposed to go, you are going to find you're going to injure yourself even with one of these because you're not using it correctly. So follow the directions and you'll do well. Till my next video, stay safe. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?